Because, like, that's the worst. Was people, it's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? It's like, oh, well, I want to go to, like, a theme park or whatever. It's like, okay, well, tell us what time to be there. Tell us what time we need to be at the location. Tell us what time, like, how we're getting there. Tell us how we're doing this. It's like, this isn't relaxing or fun. I feel like I'm doing a hell of a lot of vacation planning for someone else. Like, I'd rather just stay home. That said, I generally am a fan of just chilling. I'm also finding interesting. So we were at like clearing Rosewood for a good long time. Didn't see like any real mention of katanas or machetes for a while. And then we had, I think it's like our first helicopter we actually properly fought in Rosewood. And I think we ended up finding a total of like, not in one helicopter event, mind you, but like over the course of like a couple of days, we ended up finding like 4 katanas and a couple machetes. I was like, I don't understand. Yeah, Rockbeard's like, I couldn't care less about throwing a party these days. I mostly plan to grab a meal, or like plan to grab something to eat. Yep. I'd be the same way. It's like, all right, like here's, maybe here's a restaurant we don't normally go to because like it's inconvenient to go to, or, you know, maybe it's like, well, there's restaurants that's like, okay, like one person in like the relationship's way more into it than the other or whatever. It's like, yeah, well, you know what? I want to go to a place that like I like that we don't go to or whatever. Like that kind of thing. Just go out, have yourself, relaxing evening, grab a meal. Like maybe go to a park, not like a theme park, but just like a regular old park. Where, sometimes there'll be stuff like beer fest or salsa fest. Salsa isn't like food, not as in the dance, but I mean, hey, why not both? But stuff like that, like just like little local events, like that's the kind of stuff I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Where it's like, you know what the planning is? We show up. That's the planning. We go there. That's the planning. You say, hey, Sunday, we're going. See you there at 2? Done. Cool. Like I've gotten to the point that like touristy stuff usually not my favorite. It's always like, okay, well, it's super expensive and there's like 30 different things that you want to try and do in the day, and realistically you only have time for like 20 of them because the lines are too long. And so you spend the whole time like min-maxing your day going, okay, here's the one I have to go to beat the lines. And then after that point, the lines are going to be long. So I should skip on this one and this one so I can do this. I'm like, no. Stop it. I don't want to do that for free, let alone pay money for it. Like I would be much happier going out, getting a couple of drinks, getting some buffalo wings, or a nice authentic Mexican meal, or some Tex-Mex or whatever, barbecue, doesn't even matter. Like I would actively enjoy that more. Now, if someone else is doing all the planning, it's like I can show up and you just tell me where I'm meeting you. Probably gonna hit moderately exerted soon. Because like on one hand, the packs we have been fighting, most of them haven't been quite as big as the largest we see. We are getting a decent amount of walking between packs. There it is. It's like, so on one hand, it's like I am using stamina because I'm using a crowbar. It's also like, on the other hand, there's not as intense as we normally have. I feel like we just cleared this horde and it was instantly replaced by this horde, which happens a lot. Like, to me, if you're gonna do touristy stuff to have a nice relaxing time, water parks are where it's at. If you're comfortable with that and that's your jam kind of thing. And the reason for it is because usually they only have 1 or 2 rides that have any kind of reasonable line on it. And like all of it is just about chilling. When you live in the state of Florida, it's like 90 plus degrees half the year and humid as all get out. Water is your friend. Also, sunscreen is your friend. Alright, so we pushed that zombie. Yep, there. I was gonna say we pushed the zombie, we got aggro on more. It's just the thing with short blades. I don't actually know if it matters to any of the other weapons. I don't think it does. But generally speaking, with short blades, if you go in for the stab animation or whatever and you shove the zombie, you've almost always got something aggroed. It's a little different when the zombies are pressing in on you and you get, like, the zombies on top of you type deal. Sometimes you'll shove just because they're too close. Which is a different thing. I keep seeing that one same bread knife up here, the one sticking straight up and down on the left side of the screen, and thinking it's a katana. I have debated myself on that like 6 times. Where it's just like, oh, katana. It's still just a bread knife. I continue going around the front of the building, because it looks like they're just getting caught up in that fence. And they do that thing where they walk back and forth where the horde is up against the fence, and the other part of the horde's trying to make it kind of into a ball. So they walk the whole way around and then go to the other side. And the horde will shimmy a little and they'll move the whole way back. They keep doing that crap. Ooh, replacement hunting knife. Actually could use some new ones. As I break one right now, so I'll take that and put that one on right as we speak. No, we haven't been listening to the radio at all. That's something I should be careful about, because we're probably getting pretty close to due for a helicopter. Luckily, I keep a radio right here. That somehow is already on when I take it out of my pocket, and still at the same battery as when I put it in my pocket. Not gonna ask questions. Like this radio has one hell of a standby mode where it's just, it knows when it's in a pocket, it doesn't waste batteries. Alright, the one in pink has another hunting knife for us. That's the way back up. Alright, we got heavy storm, or heavy rain tomorrow, it looks like. Oh. Pigment's over here. I hear you, zombie. Wait for me for 1 second. Thank you. Okay, we're good. I should probably mark that radio as favorite so I don't even have to worry about transferring it away. Like, I really should get better about marking a lot of things as favorite. The mechanic I just don't really use. Like, me doing it to the 2 water bottles I have, it's kind of a first because I'm just getting annoyed with accidentally transferring away the bigger water bottles. Alright. I feel like we've killed a few zombies near this hotel. Couldn't imagine why. Take it over here, buddy. Keep trying to be good about keeping the zombies off the road as best as possible. I'm gonna go drive around later. I said, ultimately these houses over here on the left are where I would like to have us stay. Though that hotel is alright. I don't really like the idea of running up and down stairs where I could potentially not see what's happening. Though those ones aren't too bad. Bread knife. Always a bread knife. Oh. More from over here. as a kind of a risky peek on my part. Like, I heard the zombie and I should not have looked for it. I didn't really mean to honestly look for it, but I looked that side. I remember we actually had cleared to the point that I was actually able to, like, just check this store out a while back. We just got pushed out so far. Hey, Whistlebeak, how's it going? Plus, I imagine walking in the middle of the road without the corpses nearby. I don't actually know what the range is for when corpses affect you. Maybe this will help. Yep, I need to do my noms. That's the thing, like, actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna quickly run downstairs and see if my wife's home. Because I still have my lunch up here that I haven't finished yet. So I don't really need anything made for dinner. And we both have leftovers, so I'm gonna just kind of intercept her and be like, hey, you know, leftovers will work for today. So now's a really good time if you've been sitting here just chilling, watching the entire time. Now's a good time to get up, stretch a little, do a little walk around, maybe grab yourself something to drink, something to snack on, use the restroom, whatever you gotta do. And I almost completely forgot because I got into the whole thick of it. Thank you to follow Aviator. Welcome to stream. I know that was like 30 minutes ago. I totally forgot about it. My bad. But, thank you for that follow. Welcome to stream. So I'm going to go ahead and run down there, check with her, see what's up, and I'll be back in just a minute or so. Okay, and sorry about that. He's just trying to intercept my wife before she, because she's been, really good about just, coming home and being like, oh, let me go ahead, because these meal kit things that we got, these ones are, super fast. Like, where normally I would run downstairs, start something cooking, 15, 20, 30 minutes beforehand, come back upstairs, hop down and finish up kind of thing. Because usually the stuff you can bake, so it wasn't, a huge prep. It was, grab a couple things, get it all situated, put it in the oven, that kind of thing. These you can just microwave type deal. They're decent. The texture has a little bit to be desired because they almost all have soft textures just by nature of being microwave food. But they haven't been bad. I've enjoyed them. But I have food left over from yesterday because we got takeout Chinese, and you get one of those things that's 2 meals worth of food all in one. So it's yeah, I'm still eating my Chinese, so I don't need anything made. Today's probably leftover day. That's an interceptor before she started making anything and be like, what? And venting's too strong a word. She was also sitting there going, yeah, your family and I are trying to plan your birthday. Your family's difficult. Because it's we can do it on this day. It's not open that day. We can do it on that day. No, the family's not available on this day. We can do it on this other day. It's just the whole getting everyone, I shouldn't say difficult. That's too strong a word. That's not fair. It's the whole just planning around a whole bunch of different adults with different schedules kind of thing. So it's pretty funny just listening to her talk about it. I'm like, I'm glad I'm not involved in the planning. That's what I want for my birthday. For stuff to just happen and I not be involved in the planning. When it's someone else's birthday, I'll be happy to be involved in the planning. But for mine, I'd sooner grab food and be done with it. I don't mind going out and doing stuff. I just want to go through the hassle of planning everything. I'd rather just get a nice meal and call it a day. If I had to plan. Anyways, so we're back to killing zombies, doing the zombie killing thing. I saw there was keys on the ground over here. I don't need them at all. I'm gonna take them because, they're there. They're not bolted down. They don't weigh anything. Oh, hey. Free juice box and fruit jam. And peanuts. I'll eat those right now. Hey, Sugar, how's it going? Alright. Yeah, so these are the houses I've been aiming to actually try and get us to stay at. You see like these wrought iron places? That's where I kind of want to try and get covered. Ospik says, haven't celebrated my birthday in years. I mean, to be fair, like, we don't typically do, like, big birthday cakes and all that. Like, I shouldn't say that we don't. We don't typically do, like, big birthday cakes. I am definitely for, like, less is more kind of birthdays for myself, where it's like, look, you know, hang out, have a good time, relax. It doesn't need to be a whole thing. That said, whatever is planned, once I have it, I'll probably have to go in the stream schedule and say, like, that day I'll either not be streaming or my hours might be weird or whatever. Which is fine. But no idea what that'll be yet. Versus my birthday itself, I'll probably just stream. I will say, not having the minimal display bars does 100%, I'm noticing, change my play style. Like, where before, I'd lean a lot more onto using, like, the crowbar or an axe or whatever is the main weapon, and then dropping back to the secondary weapon. I find not having the information, I'd rather just use the knives. Because, like, even if they had more stamina usage than they do right now, as long as I could get through a good chunk of the day before that stamina usage caught up, I'd probably still use the hunting knives. Just because I can keep at it, and then, you know, I'd only have, like, the 1 or 2 breaks during the day. Versus, like, you know, with the crowbar, the axe, the shovel, garden hoe, even the garden spear, like, all those. Very genuinely, it becomes a thing where I have to stop, you know, every couple hordes, like every horde, every other horde to rest. So if I can get through 2 or 3 hordes before I have to rest with the hunting knife, I would still probably use it. Sorry about that, I was reaching for the mic to try to hit the mute button and the sneeze is coming. And it's just trying to keep the sneeze from happening for as long as time because I missed the mute button until I got the mute button first, I do believe. But definitely probably caused me to have a pretty weird face, I assume, because I was struggling to contain. Yeah, it was... Alfred says, indeed you did. I heard nothing. Yeah, it was 100%, it was kind of just like trying to hold it back as much as possible. It's like, normally I would be trying to like cover my face while sneezing and all that kind of stuff, but because of struggling between zombies following us, reaching over for the mute button, and trying to hold back the sneeze, I'm sure it was not graceful. I wonder, like, and this is assuming a character like that's not maxed out, but like established, like a decently established character. I wonder what people would feel is like a good place for the short blades to be so far as actually running you out of stamina eventually. Like how many hordes of like 12 to 18 zombies would be about that point and say, no, that's fair. Like that's how many I think is reasonable for us to fight before we hit moderate exertion. You know, make knives still have a strong identity as like very stamina efficient that could still be used versus, you know, oh well, if it's that bad, I'm just going to use an axe instead, kind of thing, or spear, or whatever other preference you have. That actually makes me wonder what I need to do. So not this day, tomorrow in game. So we do a fresh start where we've woken up, no stamina burned. Let's use our nightstick and see how many packs we can get through before we start to see moderate exertion. And we'll just kind of give that as like our baseline, because I think short blades are the perfect one for a baseline, because they're kind of pretty, like, they're the jack of all trades. They're good-ish at everything, but not great at anything, which is pretty great. And use that as our baseline and say, okay, if the average weapon, you know, the quote-unquote average weapon, the baseline weapon, can kill this many packs before, you know, hitting exertion, then clearly the knives would need to be able to kill more than that many packs without exertion. Short blunt should be 7. We haven't been gaining hardly any short blunt weapon in quite a while, honestly. Yeah, it's 7. But I still think that's close enough of a test. Because I'm not actually looking to then compare against the hunting knife to see where it actually lands right now. I just want to see where the short blunt is by itself at this point. And then say, okay, let's say it's 3 packs. 3 packs of roughly 12 zombies. Then you have it 3, then maybe short blade at an equivalent level should get 5 packs. Before we have to, you know, take a breather, you know, like 5 or 6. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't, like, really when it comes to short blunts, we haven't been using them because with the sheer number of zombies that are fighting each other, like, each day, we have been leaning very, very hard on our short blades here. Just because otherwise I would have to be constantly resting. And, like, I personally don't like grabbing a chair and then plopping it down and then resting at the chair. Like, to me, that... I understand it's the way the mechanics work, like, anyone who does it, like, that's not a negative on them. For me, it doesn't feel like the way it should work. I made the comment earlier, it's like, I feel like you should have to sit down to rest. And I understand sitting down to rest just makes you rest faster, that kind of thing. So I'd be more apt to sit on the ground and consider that my resting. The chair thing feels... The chair thing doesn't feel good to me. That said, again, no fault to anyone who does it. If you're having fun playing the game the way you're playing it, congratulations, you're playing correctly. It's just for me, I'm like, dragging a chair around with me everywhere so I can plop it down, so I can rest using it. Like, I know that would be way more efficient than what I'm doing. So far as, like, backing out when we get too tired and all that kind of stuff. Like, the closest we've done is I took a bar stool and I dropped it at an intersection. And we went back to it a couple of times. But it's not like I brought it with me. I left it, like, way back. Like, it's still at the starting... It was like the starting intersection we had at the beginning of the game. Before I had a vehicle and all that. That's a real big reason that was part of it, is I couldn't use my car to move around or anything. Because I didn't have one. Another crowbar. Excellent. How many crowbars we're gonna have now? We are getting to that point where I'm just getting too many weapons to reasonably use. I mean, we were actually past that. I think we're up to 9 or 10 cabinets of weapons at this point. Like 2 are just guns and ammo. 4, I believe, are weapons that go on our sides. Like maybe 2 or 3 are the weapons that go on our back. Grab this crowbar. Harvard? Yeah, I used a bar stool, like one right at the beginning. I didn't like take it into Akron or anything like that. At least I don't recall doing that. I might have. I'm not chasing you in there. Like that very first intersection, so you like leave the ice cream parlor and then you go to the right and there's that T. I had a bar stool I left there and I used it like maybe 2 or 3 times. But that's all about I did. I didn't end up using it that. That's annoying. I didn't end up actually using it that much. You recall one magically disappearing. Uh, not that I remember. I mean, maybe. Like, it would be the first time my memory's not been right, so... I mean, I know something ended up disappearing. I don't remember what it was, though. Like, it wasn't anything like I was super upset about. It's like, huh, okay. Yeah, so while we're over there, zombies effectively backfilled this area. That's no problem. We'll kill them. Yeah, I wish I could remember what it was. I vaguely remember something disappearing, just being like, what? And then just carrying on. Because I know I brought the one bar stool. Like I said, we did use it like 2 or 3 times. But, well, what else was there? I know a number of times we were like, oh yeah, you should totally put a chair in your inventory and carry it around. It's like, okay, like, yeah, I can do that. Then that was like way later. I think that was like either we were well into clearing Ekron or we were moving on to Riverside already. I don't remember. Because I remember grabbing just like an oak chair. That's the last of our fish. Alright. Let's check our inventory. So we're low on hunting knives. Let's grab more. I've definitely been losing more hunting knives than gaining recently. This stuff in here. Thread put away. Put the jack in here so I don't actually tear it up. Put the vitamins in there. We have the mint as a backup. That's fine. I'm surprised we're not drowsy yet. Oh, here, I can show you where Ekron is. Yeah, that's fine. So, if you look at the map here, we've got Riverside way up here. We've got Rosewood here. Now, if you follow the road that goes directly between them, you'll notice there's a little city here, right in the middle. This is the city of Ekron. So it doesn't have like markings on the map and all that. Yeah, where the rural supply place is. The rural supply building is that building. They got rural supply, you got the police department, the bookstore. That's just a storage shed, food marketplace, tool store, gas station, water. Yeah, so that's where the base is. There's a pharmacy. Yeah, that's the city of Ekron. Yeah, so it's basically like pretty much an exact halfway between Rosewood and Riverside. There are some people who call it Dixie. The problem is, if you go over, I believe, here, and you go to this trailer park, I believe this trailer park in front of it has a sign that says it's Dixie. And so I have the very hard stance of, if there's already one place on the map with a name, a second place doesn't get to have that same name. Yeah, no, and for the for Sleepyhead Dreams, like, to be entirely candid, I was calling it Dixie as well at the beginning. It sounds like, no, that's Ekron. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, there's this trailer park called Dixie. I'm like, oh, well, that's dumb. I have no idea. Supposedly, like, people are arguing about what cities that actually exist in Kentucky are similar to it. And then people are like, oh, Ekron is similar to it. And then later someone was like, no, actually, it's closer to this other city, and I don't know where it is. It's like, well, yeah, but at this point, people are invested in calling it Ekron, so it's Ekron. Like, because it is an unlabeled city, you know, we can call it what we want, because, yeah. Like, realistically, from what I've heard, there's actually another city it's much more likely to be, but the devs have never confirmed what it's actually called, to my knowledge. If they do actually have a name for it, it could be just generic rural Kentucky City 1. Call it Ellestown. Absolutely, and don't let Ellen catch you calling it anything else either. Alright, we're supposed to have bad weather tomorrow, aren't we? Like, I didn't see when it started, I didn't see like it was actually like a legit storm or whatever, but we're supposed to have heavy rain for most of tomorrow. We are down to just potatoes. We still need to gain more weight with fish. We're about to be drowsy here again. What I'm thinking we do is, I mentioned earlier that we're way overdue at this point. We're going back to the places we previously cleared. You know, just doing a little roundabout to, Yeah, I can. I actually, like, that's the thing, like, I've actually not been looting any of the buildings. Like, in the entire city of Riverside, there was, like, one building we went into and actually looted. That's just because I needed a bed to sleep on. Because, I mean, even I can go to the gas station. We didn't even take food out of the gas station beyond, I think, 2 water bottles. Oh, we're nauseous. Alright, let's get out of here. I won't get sick. Yeah, so then we're gonna circle back to, go to, Ekron, blast our horn a whole bunch, see what shakes out. Go to Country Club, blast our horn a bunch, see what shakes out. Go to the factory warehouse. No, I don't believe so. I also don't think they necessarily should. Because I don't think the nausea is purely just, like, smell. I imagine one, you know, seeing it all. You also have, like, smell. Like, all those things would be contributors to making you sick. Gotcha, Zidian. I mean, so far, everything I've heard is that they don't help. The gas mask doesn't help. The bandana doesn't help. Like, that's what I've heard from a lot of people I would trust. So if someone who just randomly popped in and said, no, they do help, I'd be like, alright, that's fine. I'm just going to need you to actually point out a source of some kind for that information. A source that isn't, like, just some random Reddit post or Quora or something like that. Like, someone who's done a video where they're like, okay, here's our character standing on 50 bodies, wearing a gas mask. Or no, have two characters standing together, both with the exact same traits, and they just go onto a pile of 50 bodies, one wearing a gas mask, one without a gas mask, nothing else on. Like, 100% exactly identical, and just stand there. And I'm willing to bet someone's probably already done it. I'm willing to bet if someone searched enough on YouTube, there is probably a video, and it may not be the entire contents of a video. You know, that's actually probably not a bad idea for a video. Something I could actually do as a video is going through a lot of these common things that, like, people will say, oh no, you can survive a bite. No, you can't. Oh no, like, you know, gas masks help or don't, like, but actually do a test. Yeah, Rusty Winters, or Rusty Waters, sorry, not Winters. Rusty Waters, like, PZ Mythbusters. I could see doing that. Like, I think I would probably do, like, just one video with it. That'd just be, like, one video. That'd be, like, 4 or 5, 6 of them. And some of them wouldn't be, like, that are myths now. Just stuff that, like, had been true but now aren't true. Stuff, like, where you could drink out of the water. Or out of, like, lakes and that'd be safe. Just like, you know, PSA, no, it's not safe anymore. But, like, just have the video where it's like, here, we're just going to go in there and just drink a crap ton of this water until we die. Thank you for the follow. I believe, according to what Twitch is telling me, is that Sydney Tong? Welcome to the stream. And if I got that wrong, just let me know and I'll try and, you know, like, I'll do better about it. When the characters aren't, ASCII, Twitch just gives me an approximation, and really hard to get what the actual pronunciation is from that. That might be a fun idea. For like a one-off day on stream, just to go, okay, you know, like, we take a break from this run we're doing right now, and just have like a Twitch Mythbusters Day kind of thing where it's like, alright, let's set up the experiment and let's see. And I do feel like for some of the tests it will absolutely be, you know, two people standing next to each other going, all right, now we wait for death. See who is claimed first. That probably, well, yeah, probably one we do on multiplayer, because like then we could sit there and have someone get the gas masks for us. Like, it wouldn't even have to be like a new multiplayer server. Like, we could hop in on this well-established multiplayer server and just go, okay, we're gonna make new characters that are identical, all that. Did I turn off the radio? Radio wasn't on, so that's fine. Yeah, like, the surviving the bite thing would probably be hard, because about the best you could do for evidence is go, okay, we've killed ourselves 1,000 times by bites. If it's a 99.9% chance of survival, one of them should be made. Like, whatever. We'd have to do so much more. See, I don't remember that even being a thing in 90s vehicles. I know the lights could stay on. Because I remember the whole thing would just sit there, like, you'd leave the lights on, your car, so they'd just go like, ping, 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 ping. It's like, I get it, my lights are on, I understand. Like, I get I'm messed up. Please, stop binging.